there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emerald Hill, and I have lost over 100 pounds. Today, we are reviewing HalfaJoJo. This is the first, they've just come up on my page. I have never seen anything that they've produced before. The thumbnail is very interesting. Pure GOY slop. What that means, I have no idea. But we're going to find out. Hopefully there's a little explanation. Let's see what's up.
Hola, chuds. How are we doing today?
I have no idea what they said right off of the hop. Oh, they're also filming in their room, so that's really cool. We're friends on that part. They have something in the background. Looks like it has something to do with magic or something. They like anime, maybe? Oh, they do like anime. Let's see if we can actually understand what they say this time.
Hola, chuds.
Hola, chuds. Okay. What does that mean? Chuds. Chud is a derogatory internet slang term used to describe someone, typically male, as rude, unappealing, or holding extreme reactionary or right-wing political views. You know what? I've had a few rude comments in my comment section too, so maybe he's referring to those people. I don't know. Hola, chuds.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing really good today. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today?
Not quite live, but we are coming at you with the bangers, with the usual. So usually I tend to waffle about something when I start off the video. But I think we're just going to get straight into it today.
Oh, I tend to waffle about something when I start off the video, and then he stares at us for a bit.
But I think we're just going to get straight into it today.
I agree. Let's go. Let's do it.
You know, just don't go out of your way to like harass anyone like that in the videos or whatever. It's just for a bit of fun at the end of the day. And don't take it too seriously as well. Don't be one of those people who sits there like, oh, how can you tell people what they should and shouldn't eat, that kind of thing. Just like, I don't care. Putting the video out there, I'm watching it, I'm commenting on it, brother. I find it fun. Nice, I agree. These videos are really just for fun. A lot of the time, I kind of go back and forth on what I'm saying because a lot of these things have to do with nuance on this person, their life, their character, and it changes through every person. So it really is just about you finding what works for you. I welcome those comments. Let's go. Let's have a debate in the comments section. We've got another Auntie Kale video here. Now, I don't remember if I've seen this one. But I have seen this one floating around before, but I can't remember if I watched it on the channel or not. But if we have, forgive me because I'm about to watch it again. If we haven't, yeah. But yeah, I don't think I can describe her as...
Brother, we've only done 25 of these. How can you have forgotten which ones you've done already? It is hard, though, to find new content in regards to this, and that's kind of why I'm popping around and diverting a little bit, because, yeah, it gets old really fast. It gets pretty stale pretty quickly.
Someone who barely eats anything. Because as we've seen before with her, she likes to do this thing, right, where the first 2 meals will be, like, pretty reasonable. But then, like, it gets towards the end of the night or midway through the afternoon, and she just fucking yams down a whole bunch of shite and just doesn't stop.
You just described the whole problem with my life. I start off the day so well, and then it just devolves from there. It really does. It's just like a really bad habit. Lots of people struggle with eating later and later into the day. And I think it has to do with energy levels and dopamine levels and stuff. But yeah, no, totally. A lot of people, Auntie Kale, me included, struggle with late night eating.
I'd see right now, right? Okay. Let's just start it off.
Today as a fat girl who barely eats anything. For breakfast, I had half of this smoothie with strawberries and PB2 powder. It was honestly really good. It was kind of like a...
See what I mean? Depending on what's in the smoothie, it could be quite low calorie, could be quite high protein, could be quite good. You get what I mean? And then you got like this turkey basil sandwich and keto bread. You're thinking, oh, the macros are cracked on this one. This shit probably isn't even any more than 200-300 calories in total, maybe. So you see what I mean? So far, it seems fine, right?
Peanut butter and jelly. Then we had a sandwich on keto bread. I had turkey, tomato, basil, and mayo.
Good shit, right?
Then I got this rainbow sherbet energy drink from 7 Brew.
Now, I don't know about this shit. I've never heard of this shit before.
This guy kind of reminds me of the prince in Shrek. If he was, like, afraid of other people in his house hearing him. But yeah, you know what? I agree. I think that that's something that I've noticed a lot too, is that we start off the day really well, and then we kind of progressively increase the caloric content. And also, big sugary drinks are very prevalent in America. But I would argue, like, I wouldn't say that the UK is lacking in the sugary drinks. I would say that they have as many, if not more, sugary drinks.
I'm not American enough to know what the fuck this is. I've never heard of this one.
Sugar-free energy with orange,
Sugar-free, okay, that's good.
raspberry, lime, and cola.
But we don't know if it's calorie-free though, that's the thing. I'm assuming if it's sugar-free, it's probably no more than fucking 10 calories for like the whole thing or half the thing or whatever.
No, it's totally true. You know, and that's how they get away with stuff. That's how they get away with kind of like lying almost about the real caloric content. Oh, it's 0 calories, but really it's under 5 calories and we don't have to list that, but that's this amount. So if it's actually this amount, then it is 5 calories and then 10 calories. But the truth is like, in the grand scheme of things, if that whole drink was even 20 calories, just going to the store and kind of like walking to the store and coming back would, I don't know, sort that problem out in my mind. And she's already started off the day really well. So like he said, usually starts off the day really well. In my opinion, that drink didn't really matter just because it doesn't have any caloric content to it. It can be one of those things where you kind of like, you have to pay attention to the kind of sneakiness that happens sometimes. It can apply to different things that have more calories to it, like wraps and stuff like that. They say, oh, it's this amount of calories for this portion, but then you weigh out the portion and each wrap is slightly more than what is actually listed on the package. And so you're just like actually eating more than what you think that you are. Because you think that on the package, if it's portioned out, then all of them would weigh the exact amount that it would say, but sometimes it doesn't. So far, I would say that our girl here is having a pretty good day. And our laid back, relaxed prince here is kind of like waiting for the monster around the corner. He's waiting for that dragon that he has to slay.
A lot of caffeine, probably a bit concerning, but it's probably not bad, right?
Then for lunch, I had some mixed greens with this plate of...
And again, see what I mean? Seems pretty reasonable. The highest calorie thing on there is probably that fucking avocado right there. The potato is probably not that bad either.
What I would say here is something that I would get caught up a lot in is like, you gotta get used to using spices and making your food. Even though it's very simple ingredients, which is fabulous and great, you have to get used to seasoning and using different flavors of stuff because you can get bored of things very quickly. I would wonder, like, how come all of that wasn't in the mixed greens? You know, this is something that I use as a tactic too. I just like grab a handful of greens and shove it in my mouth without sauce or anything, without dressing, lemon, nothing. Because it's like, I just need to get it in and I hate prepping it. It takes so much time putting it in a bowl even. And like cutting all of that stuff, like that probably took her 20 minutes to do that, 15, 5, I don't care. However long it took her, it took time to do it. And sometimes I just decide for myself like meh, like that's the way that it goes. But every once in a while it kind of gets fatiguing because it's like a little bit of work, you know, like to handle the fact like I'm just like grabbing a plain handful of lettuce and eating it, right? It's like, this isn't enjoyable, this isn't fun. So it's really important to start to take those simple ingredients, which is great, but to also make it fun and interesting in those different ways, because like just having plain flavors, I think, can become fatiguing, especially if you're still having processed stuff. Your brain is still searching for that, you know, high processed flavor, like the sugary drink that or, you know, the processed drink that we had earlier in the day. But now we're having this and it can feel like, oh, now this isn't as fun. This is kind of like work eating these plain things. So making sure that you're able to actually like spice up your life and make these things fun and enjoyable. Right? But let's see, we still haven't seen that dragon that is lurking, that is the huge portion size or the takeaway or something like that.
He's had a pretty decent day so far.
Of sweet potato, avocado, cottage cheese, and tomatoes.
I don't know who the fuck bites into a potato like that.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. Like, the necessity of having those natural flavors and those unprocessed things is beautiful. But there is something in sitting down and taking out the knife and fork or chopping it up and putting it nice to have chopsticks with it and having whatever with it, just like making it that extra special thing. But I love that he's like, who the fuck is picking up a potato and eating it like that? Me. I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, exactly what I'm saying. He'd probably be like, who would just grab a handful of lettuce like that? But it's true, like sometimes you just have to take that extra step to sit down and be like, okay, I'm really gonna sit here and appreciate this meal and do that extra step of using a knife and a fork. But I just love that reaction. Who the fuck is eating a potato like that?
That's got to be dry as fuck. I mean, sweet potatoes are generally less dry than like your average potato, right? Normal potatoes, your white potatoes. But who the fuck cooks a potato, picks it up and just yams into it like that?
Fucking diabolical.
Cut that fucker up and put some sauce on it or something, bruv. Like, fucking, oh my god.
You gotta remember, they take their potatoes very seriously. He's just shy. I'm surprised he hasn't been like, cover that in beans right now. Where is the compliment? She had a beautiful lunch right then. Who cares if she picked it up and mowed on it in her hand? Hey, whatever.
Strawberries, and I found some keto whipped cream, which actually was really good. And then some of these imitation
And here we go.
crab sticks.
So I would say that that's really good. That dessert is something that I do often too, is just having fruit and a bit of whipped cream. Sometimes you have to be careful. I would say, you know, when you think, oh, a quarter cup is 40 calories, that must be like, oh, this much because it's so light. Weigh it out. Always weigh it out. Make sure you know, like training your mind. You're at least training your mind to recognize the right portion size that fits that caloric content. But now we're having crab sticks.
The shit starts going downhill.
A little trail mix.
How much is a little trail mix?
And a sugar-free Russell Stover's Pecan Delight. Ooh, so good.
How many calories is that?
Then I
then?
went on a hunt for Alani Witch's Brew, and I found them. So I had to add some caramel.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So far, it was like, okay. And then towards the end of there, it got a little bit snacky. You know, there was chocolate involved and shit. I know, oh, sugar-free or whatever doesn't mean calorie-free, first of all. I don't know about that specific brand, but I can imagine, again, anything with fucking chocolate in it probably has decent amount of calories in it. And this, I don't give a fuck if it's keto or not. You're downing like a whole fucking can of whipped cream and just squirting a fuck ton of caramel sauce into an energy drink. Barely eats anything, by the way.
I love the slow paced humor of it all. Just like, let me lay it out for you. Yeah, absolutely. That is something that I got really caught up in too, especially when I was like first like figuring it out and first doing keto and first like having diet foods, is figuring out like you really do still have to portion these things out and be mindful of how much you're intaking, because you think like, oh, a little bit here doesn't matter, oh, a little bit there doesn't matter, one of these don't matter, one of those don't matter, oh, a handful of this doesn't matter. But then as we see, it actually really does matter. It really does add up. Just having trail mix around would be a big red flag for me, just because a trail mix like that little handful is like probably at least like honestly over 100 calories in that little handful. And then she had the pecan thing, and now we're, you know, topping everything off with the whipped cream. So yeah, he is right. We're kind of going off of the rails, and this is why it's really important to actually portion out and plan out your snacks and stuff like that, because it's very easy to have little nibblies that are just lying around everywhere and that you don't even realize that you're picking up and putting in your mouth more than what you were intending. That is something that I have struggled with a lot, and that is why all of the snacks that I have now have to go away into the cupboards. Even dinner, if I have leftover dinner, I have to put it away into a container and put it in the fridge as soon as I'm done portioning it out, or else I will be back in the kitchen just taking a nibble here and there, and then all of a sudden a whole meal is gone out of nibbles, and I don't even register it because it's just like little nibbles all the time.
And a shot of whipped cream for funsies. Then for dinner, I had a grilled.
And it gets worse. And we got a whole...
Yeah, it does get worse, because I honestly thought that that was the end of it. I didn't realize that we were going back out. Yeah. Okay. Now we're seeing the dragon in the castle. And it's this Taco Bell burrito.
Last greasy fucking burrito from Taco Hell.
On a great name, Taco Hell. Absolutely.
You see what I mean? I think you're understanding what I mean now.
Yes. I understand what you mean now.
I think you understood anyway, but you get me.
Grilled cheese burrito from Taco Bell. This was so greasy, but it was so good. And of course, tons of water. I refilled my cup.
Yeah, because like James Bowler always says, balance, guys. You know, we can eat all the shit in the world, but as long as we have like a water or a...
Yeah, that's something that I'm learning too. Honestly, still to this day, it's like my brain just really is ingrained in me. Like, oh, even if I drink, even if I have that much sugar, I can just balance it out with that much water. But the truth is, it's like sugar isn't the same as salt and electrolytes. You can have as much salt as you want as long as you balance it out with water. But like if you're getting that salt from all of this processed high calorie stuff, there is not enough water in the world. It just does not work that way that you can flush out the calories with water. So you can have like a cube of salt and flush it out with water, and that's great. But as soon as you're having like that amount of salt in a cookie, in a burrito, in whatever, you still have to deal with the calories that is in that burrito, that is in that cookie. So water is great. As we've learned, water helps flush out the fat, keeps things moving in your calorie deficit, in your movement, flushes out the toxins. That's really great. But it does not negate the calories that you intake. You can't flush out calories. You have to work off calories. So it's just really good to kind of keep your maintenance and whatever. But yeah, as he says, jokingly, you can have as much water as you want and then eat anything you want.
or a diet Coke or something like that. It's all balanced at the end of the day. It barely eats anything.
Of course, pal. Whatever you think is best.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've seen quite a lot of her videos before, and it's pretty standard formula at this point. She probably said barely eats anything just for the fucking rage bait, just so that people click on it and are like, oh, this person who's blatantly obese as fuck is saying they don't eat anything, and yet they're obese as fuck. What's going on here? And they click on it, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's probably why. You tend to notice a pattern. Whenever that person says, oh, I don't eat anything, they fucking do. They do. Because if you didn't eat anything, you wouldn't be fat, would you? You wouldn't. And before anyone gets all in the comments and is like, actually, this specific circumstance out of the norm, when we're talking about averages, no, we're not doing this. I don't care if there's like a rare circumstance where like 1 in a million people can't fucking lose weight.
You know what? I agree. I think that there aren't a lot of circumstances where food isn't directly affecting that person's weight or could directly benefit that person in some way if there was some changes made to their diet. I would say I really think that this person reminds me of my brother just because of their cadence and how they speak and their kind of dry sense of humor. My brother loves British humor. He loves Rowan Atkinson, Fawlty Towers and things like that. But yeah, so I would say, just as somebody watching, just as a former fat person myself, I would like to hear a lot more of your personal experiences, like when you're watching these people and how they start off the day really well and then they kind of derail themselves and go off of the rails. I think that would be cool to see like what it was like for you as a former fat person. Like, what were your struggles? How come you can't relate to this person? Like what were the things that you were doing that is obviously not what this person is doing, right? So I think like this is kind of another case of like, we've othered ourselves. I'm so not like that. I just can't even comprehend why this person has fallen into this pattern. But I think that it's pretty easy to see like these are really hard habits to break. And sometimes we just fall into that feeling of like, oh, well, I did so well over here that if I, go off the rails over here, it kind of evens itself out. But the truth is like you really have to stay consistent with the whole thing and maybe look at those things that you've had earlier in the day. Like maybe those things actually really aren't working for you, having a little glob of cream cheese or having a little glob of cottage cheese and a potato that you pick up and like vegetables and stuff. Maybe you want something a bit more fun. Maybe you want all of that in a burrito that you've made at home, right? And then that will help you have a homemade meal later in the day because it doesn't feel like you've deprived yourself and you have to go out to Taco Hell. I love that name. I love that. Yeah, you know, any like fast food takeaway places, at-home meals is where it's at, okay? Let's start doing at-home meals as much as we can. I think that would be really great. And I think that would be cool if he actually said what his favorite sauce was to put on the potato. What kind of sauce would you want? Ketchup? Is it a HP sauce or whatever? Like, what's happening? Is it the beans? Is that what you meant to say? Did you actually mean to say she should have had beans with that potato? All right, well, this was HalfaJoJo. But yeah, it was good to check out your content. I hope that, you know, I didn't say anything too offensive to you. I didn't have a lot of time today to really review or go through your whole video, but yeah, I like the laid back sense of humor, but I just want to know more about you. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now.